Welcome to DMV Sports Media, your home of the Super Soccer League. Today we have a top matchup here. The newly promoted Slancha will be playing their last game in the Division 2 against Ittihad, who is currently fighting for their position on how they're going to end the season. Obviously, Idihad has qualified for the playoffs. However, who they're going to be playing is up in the air. It's going to be a very fun matchup between these two. These two have matched up. These two were shiny toys in the state cups this past winter season, and now we are in the midst of the end of the Division 2 season. Idihad will move on to the playoffs, and Slancha will get their necessary rest before the fall, as they will be playing in Division 1. Idihad will be playing in the teal from left to right. Slancha will be playing in the white from right to left on your screen. I am Gio Monteroso. With me on the camera is Mr. Dono Wallace, who he and I will be pulling an all-day shift today. So it's going to be a fun day with us. Do make sure you hit that like, comment, and engage as we get ready to kick off here. And we are off for the final match of Slancha's season. Correction. Yes, it is the final match of Slancha's season. I'll read you off the standings as we see Slancha starting to grow into possession. Obviously, they're going to feel for it. They're going to see how Idihad is going to attack them. This isn't an unusual matchup. These two teams have seen each other this season. Standings are as following. Slancha in first with 20 points. Touch Kings in second with 19 points. Baltimore City in 10th with 18 points. MSI in fourth with 14 points. Idihad with 11 points in the fifth seed. Peru United and MPC just wrapped up their final match earlier this morning, and Peru United sitting in with 8 points and MPC ending the season with 5 points in the fifth place. That's how the standings have ended. It's all in Ittihad's hands on how their regular season ends. A win here equals them with Touch Kings. MSI. And if they do tie with MSI on points, their goal differential will see them into the third place, where they'll be facing Touch Kings, as where Baltimore City would be facing Idihad. And there's almost the first goal of this midday. It was Perez who got the header on it. It was Perez who didn't get the goal. Idihad, who just played a fantastic game against Baltimore City not too long, last weekend, and it was a match that was proper exciting to watch. And it obviously didn't go the way of Idihad, putting Baltimore City in a much-needed position. It wasn't Baltimore City. It was Peru United who they played. And it didn't go their way. It went the way of Peru United. But ultimately, it didn't mean much to Idihad, as they were able to still qualify for playoffs. It's going to be a restart here for Slancha, who was fouled back here Restart here. Looking for Gobu. Gobu gets pushed in the back. It gives him the needed speed that he needed to separate himself. Plays in the cross, but way too heavy. It's going to be a throw-in for Ittihad, but it looks like the player is tying his shoelaces there. Here comes Idihad with the throw-in. Idihad losing possession ultimately, and this gives chase. That was a nervy moment. Well done, the Slancha defender. Zuata, sorry. Zuita, number 17, Ilyas. Put under pressure there. Did well to respond. Slagby is the keeper for Slancha. Perez is on the ball. Hold that thought. He cuts back. Has a shot. Correction, that was Hollowell. Hollowell in the number 7. Perez is in the number 8. As I was saying, Slagby is in goal for Ittihad. On the other side, you have, I'll hold that thought because here comes Slancha. Dispossessed. Ultimately, the attack turns into nothing. But as I was saying, in goal for Ittihad, it's going to be Ahmed, Hazem Ahmed, number 1. In the red, should be stated. So throw in here for Idihad. Big Boo sent down the field. It's quickly and easily recovered by Slancha and then sent down the field. Great interception there because it was going to be turned over and the ball was played through and he's on. He's looking for the cross, looking for Ngobu. Ultimately doesn't find anybody. It's now going to be a throw-in for Idihad. Ittihad comes out with it, but it's Hollowell who wins the ball, and now is Ngobu. Ngobu sends it back to Funk. Funk is number 17. Correction from earlier. Zuata is number 15. Just wanted to make that correction. Ngobu sends it, looking for his winger. That's Emmanuel. Malacha Emmanuel, number 13, who made that run. Here comes Ittihad with number 10. I don't know who that is, to be honest. Oh, Kaiser. Kaiser sends it back to his defense. He receives it. Kaisur, sorry. Kaisur plays it off. Garagbi. Garagbi keeps the throw in for his team, and now it's Bangs. Big through ball here for Slagby to collect. Here comes Slancha. It's now with Idihad. It's Idihad. Garagbi. Loses possession. Now it's going to be a Slancha throw-in. I mean, these early parts has really just been both of these teams feeling each other out, seeing what their style play is going to be, what their attacks are going to be. We haven't really seen too much on the attack or the finishing aspect. I think there was one attempt for Slancha, which was the header from Perez. But outside of that, it's really been just a battle of possession. And here is Ittihad in that final third. Ball was lost. That was Hassan who, Usman Hassan, who loses possession there. And here comes Slancha. I jinxed them because just as soon as I said here comes Slancha, it turns over to Ittihad. Ittihad's doing well keeping possession, keeping Slancha on the back foot. It's actually not Slagby in goal. I'm pretty sure it's Brigham who's in goal, as Slagby is a little bit behind on the schedule. Here is Funk. Funk finds his teammate. Here comes Slancha having a little bit of trouble getting out of their defensive half. Great move. Try to play in Perez. Perez, fortunate bounce, and his teammate saves him, and it's Perez. That's offsides. Not sure if I'm buying that, but referee had a better angle than I did. So behave I must. Here is a great turn from Hassan. Hassan holding the ball just a little too long. And just like that, Ittihad bails him out. Number 24 who ends up winning the possession. That was, I hold that thought because I thought there was a shot, but it ultimately was blocked and went out of bounds. Sends in the cross. Well defended. Referee says play on. Nothing to be seen here. Gets tangled up, and Ittihad has a player down. There's a little bit of a contact there, and referee finally addresses it. Now it's going to be I should remind everyone today we'll be observing water breaks given the heat of the sun and the field. I was down there earlier and I'm already sweating bullets. Big switch here for Idihad. He has Ngobu right there. He plays it to him. He's on. Ngobu looks at Perez. Perez has a little bit of time and space. Can he have a shot? Plays it across. Settles for a corner. Hollowell is going to go up for the corner here. Let me check in with the chat before we take this corner. No, it's okay. Sends in the cross. Almost had a connection to it. Hassan clears it. Now it's going to be another corner for Hollowell. Waiting for a ball to reach the corner there. Have two players standing over top of it. It's Hollowell. Hollowell sends the service. Ngobu gets to it. He's going to look to play it back in. Forced to go back down, but it does end up at his feet again, and he makes a move, looks for a space. Getting double teamed. He's running out of space. Still keeps it in play for somehow, and ultimately he recovers again. Ngobu has a shot. A great save right there. Ngobu, man, talking about hustle. Stayed involved, active in the play, and was rewarded with another opportunity. But ultimately, Ahmed got the better of the two. A lot of time in that midfield right there for Idihad. Big switch, only to find Zuatia. Zuatia finds Ngobu. Ngobu sees Perez. Perez gets the ball. Back to Ngobu. Ngobu plays it to Perez. Somehow gets that off, and there's a center as it pokes it in, and there's a goal. The first goal for Slancha. That's number 13, Emmanuel. And referee calls for the first water break after the first goal of Emmanuel. It's a beautiful, I mean, that link-up play between Perez and Ngobu, just playing it back and forth, knowing each other so well. And Ngobu getting that pass to Perez, and Perez finding that cross to ultimately end to the feet of Emmanuel, the goal scorer. My word, that's talking about hustle. So we saw it right there. It is a water break for the players. Keep in mind, it's hot. It's a hot day. Water breakers are needed. We'll be celebrating here the promotion of Slancha here shortly after this game, and Ittihad will know where they've landed given the result here. The match earlier today between Peru United and MPC ended in a 2-1 victory for MPC. Late minutes, did they get that winner? Late minutes, did they get the tie? And then ultimately getting, in the last 5 minutes, the go-ahead win for their team. Referee calling the players back onto the field. It's a doggy here. It's kind of hot. He needs shade. All right, we should get started here in just some moments. And away we go. Idihad gets us started. It's going to be Idihad that's going to be looking for the result here. Obviously, in the podcast earlier this week, GM Arlie hit and number 19 for Idihad reassured us there's still work to do. So I'm assuming they're going to come out here playing, and currently they're winning 1-0. Perez couldn't get the touch, but does. Referee says that's a foul in favor of Perez. Quickly restarted here. It's Hollowell on the ball. Played it to his teammate. Lay played it back to Funk. Funk plays it to his partner in crime, Novian. It's Funk again. Played it out wide, receives it back. Funk still has possession. Forced to go to his partner. Novi gets intercepted and takes out the Idihad player. I'm sure this is going to be the first card of the day. Pretty sure Novian is painted yellow. Does receive it. Took him out because he gave away a bad ball and could have led to something for Idihad, but opted to just take the yellow card instead. Here is Slancha controlling possession with Funk. Score should be updated on the Super Soccer League, where we had MPC upset Peru United and Das Beer Hall take care of business against Baltimore Kickers. Zuita. Now it's to Hollowell. Hollowell plays it out wide. Has time and space. Has a shot on. Did everything right. had a defender on his shoulder and still was able to get the shot off, but couldn't put the direction behind it. I believe that was the goal scorer, Emmanuel. It was. Wanted to add to his tally. His time and space out here on this wide side for Poramski. Now it's Hassan. Hassan tried to play it in, but Zuita blocks it. Zuita can't make it out, and Hassan with the heroics, collected by none other than the striker himself, Brigham. So weird to see him in the goal. Their goalkeeper, Slagsby, probably won't show up until halftime. But play on, Slancha says. Funk forced to just send it down the field. No kind of sense of direction, just already in the end of the 25th minute. Only 20 minutes left in this first half. Really, for Slancha, it's a formality to wrap up this game. As it has no bearings on their game, more so just a morale thing, but Ittihad needs these points. If not, we'll be seeing, if things were to end the way they are right now, we would be seeing a Touch Kings Idihad final, or semifinal, and Baltimore Kickers MSI semifinal. Idihad, who has an opportunity here, well defended. It's still Idihad. Idihad has their first shot, but well blocked. Another shot blocked again. Gobu can set Slancha free. Does so. Plays in a beautiful ball for Emmanuel. Can Emmanuel do something here? He almost had to beat the keeper. The ball's still alive. Perez has a shot, and Ahmad with the save. Two back-to-back saves right there for Ahmad. Here, Slancha winning the ball here. Who is it but the man himself, Gobu. Losing possession is Idihad with possession now. Makes it through, but Nuvian collects. Now it's Funk. Funk is taking the space. They're not defending him. It's now with Perez. Perez releases Gobu. Gobu has options. Decides to cut back, hold his forward progression, sends in the cross and defended. Now they settle for a corner. Gobu, every single time he's on the ball, he makes something happen. He is one of the pillars on this offensive team, and now it's the soccer mom, Arlie Hit. I will absolutely put a disclaimer. I did not give him that nickname. His team did. So here comes the servers from Zuata. Sends it in. Only finds Ittihad headers, and Now it's Slancha all the way back with their defense. Sends in the service. Looked like the intended target was their forward, but only found Ahmad's hands. Substitutions have been made. Barras, who is in for the lead, the head striker. Gobu substituted out as well. It's actually Barras who took him out. 22 is also on the field. That's Moni. It's a little shoulder on Perez. Referee didn't see it because she had her back turned, but sideline official made sure to take note of that. Barras. Zuita again. It's hit. Soccer mom extraordinaire plays it out wide. Has time and space. There's no really pressure. He has all the time in the world to make the right decision. I may have just jinxed him. He had Pettis way wide out here open. Could have just played a through ball for Pettis. That was, not mistaken, that was Myers. Drew Myers. Hit. Lay in towering figure in that midfield. You would think to use him a little bit more. Asking for the through ball. He gets the through ball, and it's called offsides. I would dare to gamble, but I'm sure I would lose that money there. But that was margins on that offsides call. Moni not too happy about that, but play on. Hit now into his usual position. Just filling in for Myers. Out wide here you have Zuita. Barras gets the ball poked out, and Ittihad is saying it's their ball. Paremski said it was his, and he does get the ball. He gets the throw in. Substitutions for Ittihad and Slancha. Looks like Idris is on. And for Idihad, it looks like it was Muhammad who makes his way onto the field. No, he has number 15 shorts, but 25 shirts. So they're gonna confirm that in a second. The Frau is the one who made his way onto the field. Idihad is light on substitutions, should be noted. I mean, only 3 subs on the bench. On a day like today, we saw it with Das Beer Hall. However, Das Beer Hall did get the result. Ittihad, Hit, not too excited about that. A little extra left on that tackle. Had a few words. Now it's Funk getting us started here. Every time I say funk music literally plays in my head. Right? Okay, I'm not the only one. Thank you, Donna, for making me not feel alone out here. What song? If you had to just throw a song out there. Mine's a very, very cliche one.
I can only hear the music. I can't remember the title off the top of my head.
You know that song? We got the funk. It's all about that funk. That's what's in my head. And we should play that song every time if he scores. Great movement. Releases himself, finds Idris. Idris has a shot. And what a save from Ahmed, seemingly coming out of nowhere. And who is it but none other than Gobu, who creates an opportunity. I mean, every time this guy is on the ball, he does magic for Slancha. Is that another water break? That is another water break. Referee is going to be cautious today. We are sitting at about a warm, it's the National Weather Service, extreme heat, and yet we're out here. Warm 96. It's like your cold fall day. Need some water, sir?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Whoa, my phone just went into the water. We should be good. Take another water break here for both Slancha and Ittihad. This one potentially is going to be shorter. As the weather only seems to get hotter. We have one more match after this one. It'll be the championship celebration of Steel Pulse, who have won the Maryland Division I. There won't be any playoffs here in the Maryland D1 conference. It's only going to be D2, and so Steel Pulse moves on to play the winner of Virginia Division I, which we'll see a final this coming week, a final this coming week between Los Toros and Virginia Dream. Usual suspects. I can't even speak today. I'm gone. English is no Englishing today.
It's almost like your brain is kind of melting from the heat.
No, we're lucky. We're in the shade. It feels cool up here. We have a cooler with water, and could be worse.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could be the players.
Got some cloud coverage too.
And we do have some cloud coverage. Here comes the corner from Idihad. Ball sent in. The header's on, but the direction couldn't be given. And Myers comes flying through. I want to say that was Myers. It was not. Of course it wasn't. The header was none other than Barros. Great clearance there. Under pressure. Try to make the turn, slipped. Possession goes to Slancha. Zuita plays it to Funk. Funk is hit. Hit finds Berras. Now back to Funk. Now it's Lay. All the way back to Brigham. Brigham, the striker, playing goalie. Not pretending, playing goalie. Slancha's going to eat the clock. I mean, there's no real rush for them. They are already leading up 1-0. We're about, 6 minutes into the end of the first half. Referee says play on. It's Ittihad. Here they come. Cuts back. Hit reads that well, but ultimately goes back to Ittihad. It's Garme who had possession, went to Sur. Now it's Carmen. Garagby. Back to Carm. The through ball there, and it finds his teammate. TBD on who that is. That is number 5. Kulifyami, sorry. That's a Y, not a H. Kulifyami, who couldn't keep it in. I think Slagby has made his way to Slancha's bench, currently getting dressed. So we should be seeing him take his rightful position in the box, relieving Brigham of his goalkeeping duties. Gets taken out. Referee says that's a foul. It's hit. It receives the restart. Lay loses possession, but he's still there. Recoups it for his team. It's still Lay. Lay allows a balance in this Karim, who wins the ball, ultimately getting a foul. Referee reaches in for our pockets for Lay. Not sure if that was enough for the yellow card. I mean, it's referee's domain. I don't want to question her, but she thought it was enough put on there. Great conversation between Slancha players. Gumbu gets absolutely taken out, or almost taken out. There's the yellow. There should be a yellow there. There sure is. Gobu does everything right. And that was number 12 for Idihad, who got the yellow card. I'll get you on who that is. Alex Sophus. Ophos. I'm going to say it's Ophos. Unless that's a random U. It's Ophosu. But handwriting, man. Handwriting. Got to work on it. I'm going to say Ophosu. Ngumbi. Sorry, I said gum. Ngumbi opted to go for his name in lights instead of the pass.
That was a hard one.
It was. You saw what he was thinking. Ittihad restarts. We're now into the last 3 minutes of the first half. Can't foresee the referee adding too much time here. It's Ittihad who controls it right now. It's pressure's on. Hollowell. Hit closes it down. But it's still with Ittihad. Ittihad has numbers and space. Has a shot. And there's a golazo for Ittihad. My word, that was about 40 yards out. Golazo. That was number 22. Rafik Griagbi. And Brigham was not prepared for that. Again, Striker playing goalie. But still, I mean, put in the right aim and everything. And finally, Slagby makes his way onto the net. But that was what a way to wake up Idihad. That was a golazo, a much-needed golazo for Idihad as we start to near the end of the first half. I mean, you cannot give any player that much space. I get that the goalie wasn't a goalie and space wasn't there, but that was way too much space. Way too much time and space. Beautifully done. Now Ittihad looks like they got life in them, but Slancha has a little bit of fire and something to prove there. Ittihad gets us started here. Hit with a beautiful interception. He tried to play himself on, but couldn't. It looked like Hollowell was almost going to bite there, but glad he didn't. Idihad looks like they have plenty of life in them now. Well defended. Novian, sorry. Gobu runs out of space, and every time he's on the ball, you can expect something fun to happen. Gobu sends in the cross. Can he find his teammates? He had two on the back post, but the keeper did well. Has a shot. Ahmed does well to stop from the spilling happening. It's a great save right there. Looked like it was Zuita who had that shot. Ittihad is showing a lot more urgency than they did a few minutes ago. Referee says that's all for the first half. We have a matchup on our hands here. It's a 1-1 all squared affair as we enter the second half. We'll take a quick little break here. Do make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and comment. Share out this link. This is going to be the final match of the Division II regular season for this spring season before we move into the playoffs. We'll be taking a quick break, and we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to DMV Sports Media here at Milford Mill Academy as we enter the second half of this Slancha Idihad tie. 1-1 at the half. Goals scored by Emmanuel and I can't remember who scored for Idihad. I think it was number 22, if I'm not mistaken. Garagbi. It was. So all squared affair here on Ittihad on Slancha Celebration Day. After this match, we'll have promotion celebrations for Ittihad, and then we'll move on to the final match of the evening, which is Steel Pulse versus. Why am I drawing a blank on who Steel Pulse is playing?
It's Ambition, isn't it?
Ambition. I will confirm that here in a moment. It's going to be a kickoff at 5 p.m., but here we go. Idihad gets us started. Idihad is in the teal jerseys going from right to left. Slancha in the white going from left to right on your screen. Slancha starting really quickly with high press as they don't want this game to end the way it has. Idris on the pressure and Ahmed comes out and collects. It's Idihad who's being high pressed, but it is Idihad who has possession. Here comes Idihad. Played the through ball, tried to play it back to him. Tried to win that, but took a bounce and went the way of Idihad. And yes, you are correct, Dono. It is, in fact, Steel Pulse versus Ambition after this match here at Milford Mill. You could say the home of the Super Soccer League, to be honest. A great through ball. Slagby does well to collect. Now it's Bettis. Bettis has his time. Bettis has his teammate. Wanted to play it, but played it to a defender. And now it's Ittihad who comes out playing, who also nearly turned it over. Zuati. Hollowell forced to come back and defend against Hassan. Hassan wins a throw-in for his team. Throw in here. Almost turns into a corner practically. Well defended by Slancha. Great through ball for Idris. Idris gets on the end of that. It's still Idris. Idris beats the first defender, plays a shot, and couldn't put the direction on it, but that was a great moment for Slancha. Idris did almost seemingly everything right besides the shot. It's good to see Brigham at the top in his position. Used to scoring goals, not getting scored on. Ahmed getting pressed. Forced to play quickly. Now it's Ittihad not really in a rush. Opts to go for the long ball, and it's Novian who gets it back to Slagby, and Slagby sends it down for Hollowell. Hollowell plays it out. Now it's back with Hollowell. Here comes Hollowell. Hollowell plays it out wide. Looking for the early cross. Gets it in. Almost. They settled for the corner. I thought that was a little shaky. Anytime I see a defender clear it with their body face to goal, always sends shivers down my spine. But did not turn into an own goal. A corner we have is Hollowell that's standing on top of it. Dragonas is sitting here at the top of the box. We could see him make a run onto the ball. Chooses not to. It went past everyone. No one could get a touch on that. But it was played in a very deadly area. Right inside the 5 yards. Very nervy moment right there. Now it's going to be a goal kick restart for Ahmed. Here comes a big through ball here. It's a race to it. It's Zuata who wins it. Dragonas is out wide. There is an option. They play it to him. To Perez. Perez couldn't get to it. Instead, it was Osfuso who got to it. And Ghazni standing over top of it now after the foul was committed on Bangs, sorry. Number 16. Mezgani is going to look to go for the service. No, he doesn't. He goes for Glory, but doesn't find it. It's a good attempt, I must say. It had enough power to it. Distance was right, direction was right, but just couldn't get it to dip down before flying over the crossbar. Here comes Slagby. Slagby sends it down the field. Ultimately won by Ittihad now. We're already 7 minutes into this second half. This time is flying by. Great tackle. Referee says no, it's a foul. Referee's calling over Zuita. Zuita gets the yellow. A lot of yellows in this game. Is there 4 yellows already? Yeah, last game we saw, one card at the 83rd minute or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference. Different goalie, different crew, different circumstances for both the teams. Service sent in from Idihad. Slagby collects. It's a good attempt from Ittihad's defender. Sofus. It's a great tackle there. Player is feeling the impacts of the collision. I can't get over how small these shin guards are nowadays. Little tiny things. Always see them flying. Number 25 for Ittihad seems like he took a little knock there and not feeling too well. It's the Fromm. Big switch here, but it doesn't get to his teammate. It's cut out by his own teammate. That's Bettis tried to play in Brigham. Keeper forced to come out. Takes a weird bounce, but stays in play. It's a great move right there. Great tackle. Still goes in the way of Idihad, though. Sends it down the field. Bettis asks for the ball. There's a big switch possible. I'm not sure if Hollowell could see it. Hollowell just turns it over. Very uncharacteristic of the captain. Hit. Coming through. Number 16 does well. Gets it to Idris. Idris has an opportunity. Can he beat the keeper? Doesn't. Ahmed again with a big save. Sends it down the field. Gets contact and teammate sends in the cross. Tried the heroics but couldn't get it on frame. The diving shot comes from Babishkin. Tanner Babishkin, who tried to get on it. Just had a full stretch. Couldn't get the contact right. Idris seems like he's gassed. He's going to need a substitution there shortly. Big switch here. Wins. Emmanuel wins it here. Oh, that's not Emmanuel. That is Zuita. Zuita still with the possession. Zuita lovely flicked on for Idris. Now it's Brigham. Brigham couldn't bring it down. Bibashkin loses possession, but Brigham keeps it in for them. Bibashki's on. Bibashki misplays it on, but just misses narrowly. Goes wide. Idris steps away from also tapping it in after he saw the cross, but Idris is absolutely gassed. Wonder if that substitution came in earlier. Could we have seen a second goal right there?
Seeing a lot of near misses.
Dono, for those that may or may not have heard him, says he's seeing a lot of near misses. Well, there's a saying in good old soccer. You get punished for the ones you don't put away. So Slancha is going to have to make sure they make the next opportunity. Because Ittihad is alive and well. Switch here. Could help Ittihad, but they keep it on their right side. There's no pressure coming, so they're going to take their time. Lovely little flick on right there. Here is Ittihad. There's no foul. Referee says play on. There wasn't enough on it. Now it's Slancha that has to get out of trouble. Perez plays it down. Bibashkin plays on. Brigam is one-on-one with the keeper. He has a shot. Ahmed saw that from miles away. He did have Bibashkin off to the side there. He could have played him back out. But saw his name in lights. Opted to go for the shot. Everything's kind of recently for Idihad has been going through that of Mezgani. Mezgani, number 24, has been really kind of guiding the team. Big switch here. It's Bettis on the ball now. Bettis gets tackled. Referee says that's clean. Play on. Number 16, plays a beautiful ball. That's Bangs. Bangs played it out wide for Hassan. Hassan plays it in, loses the ball. Ball still with Ittihad though. Bangs, can he have a shot? He does. But that was too easy for the keeper. Those are the ones they'll take all day long. Referee holds play as substitution is needed here. They're taking advantage and taking a water break here. Number 25, Defram, is up, and that's the water break. I mean, honestly, Slancha has been the better of the two sides. As far as it comes to opportunities, they just haven't been able to put them away. And Idihad, the sparks of life is something to watch out for, because it's a mirror of what happened in the first half, where Slancha just looked like the better team, but there was moments where Idihad really had some build-up play, and they laid off the pressure, and that's where that shot came from, about 40 yards out, and hit the back of the net. So there's definitely things to watch out for. Definitely signs to watch out for. Slancha's ready to go. I mean, they want to wrap this game up. Under 30 minutes left here in the second half of this match. Slancha pretty much making their way onto the field. Half the team at least. Water break is just wrapping up. I mean, we potentially may get a second water break later on in this half. Referee has been precautious, giving this 95-plus degree weather. Right now we're sitting at 96 degrees. She gave a second water break earlier on, so I'm assuming we'll get a second water break here in the second half. It is nice and toasty. For those of you just tuning in, we are in the 65th minute of, heading into the 64th minute of this Slancha versus Idihad. Idihad with much to play for. Finish or seed on the standings is on the line. They have qualified for the playoffs, but who their opponent is has yet to be determined. And Slancha is really here just to end the season on a high note, as they've been promoted to the Division 1 for the fall. Celebrations to be had. Hit back on the ball. Looking to play down the field. Finds Myers. Myers plays in through the through ball. Great through ball. Takes a touch. The ball's still alive. Tried a spectacular cheeky attempt, but didn't pan out. I forgot what that's called. Can you believe that? I forgot what it's called, and it's sad. Referee says, hold on, there's a substitution. The hit's coming off as Perez comes back on. Ittihad here gets us underway. Great move, but it's a better tackle. It's Ittihad, Slancha, who has numbers. Tried to play it into Brigham. Oh, no, that's not Brigham. That is 22. I'll get you who that is here momentarily. That's Mooney. Mooney was the intended target for that, but it went in the way of Idihad. Sends down the field for the work rate from Novian is fantastic. Gobu, always the fantastic. Reminder, anytime the ball is hit off the referee, it goes in the way of the team last in possession. Betta is here, time and space. Pressure is coming though. Plays it out wide, great decision. Can they find a cross? Well defended, but it's not out of danger. Can he have the shot? He does. Nearly misses. Ahmed seems like he had it covered, but he was not happy on the defending there.
It's like they're getting closer and closer with each goal attempt.
Dono says they're getting oh so closer on each goal attempt. But I'll just reiterate the saying I pointed out earlier. It's in Spanish, right? You get punished for every goal you don't put away. So we'll see what holds true. Idihad is going to slowly get us started here. This half, we've seen Idihad a little bit more in possession. Slancha has kind of fallen into that counterattack role, which we've seen time and time again, and they do it very well, but they also are a team that can hold possession. It's a great little battle there between the two. Goes in the way of Ittihad, and the through ball still keeps possession. Ball goes in the way of Ittihad. Substitutions coming on for Ittihad. The man himself, Misgani standing over top of it. You can assume that's going to go straight to goal. Misgani is not one to shy away from set piece shot to goal. He actually surprises me and plays it in. ultimately resulting in not much of anything. Ball goes way out of field. It's going to be a restart here for Ittihad. As we enter the last 20 minutes of this matchup. It's a great opportunity here. Berus plays it wide. Ngombu gets to it, still alive. Can he find a cross? He finds Perez. Perez finds the middle. Can he have the shot? Cuts back, has the opportunity. Well defended by the goalie. That was a great opportunity there. Goalie always had hands on that. And now it's Idihad on the other side. Slagbeek plays to Myers. Myers tried to clear it out. It takes a fortunate bounce for Idihad. Here's an opportunity. Gets well defended, and now it's a goal kick. Sends it down the field. Gombu's on it. He gets to it. Has two forwards there. He needs to pick up his head and sees the man coming on. Doesn't, opts to keep it. Just had to pick up his head and see that number 15 was making the run. That's Zuita. Zuita was right there at the top of the box. Myers looking for Zuita, but doesn't connect well. Now it goes out for a throw-in, or sorry, a goal kick restart. Ittihad here under pressure. Mezgani sends it down for Hassan. Hassan keeping possession. Still Ittihad doing well to hold possession there. Sur, number 10 did well to keep possession. The ball was played over, but couldn't get a hold of that touch. Dragon. Dragonas is not happy with that. Godby, no correction, that's not Godby, that's number 5. I'll get you the name here shortly, but it's Slancha who comes out with the possession. Zuita plays it behind him. Man does well to keep it in play. Myers, big switch here. Berus plays across, and there's the goal number 2 for Slancha. A beautiful cross from Berus and finds his teammate. Mooney just taps it in, finally beating the keeper after much attempts. It's a beautiful ball right there to Berus. Berus takes it down the line, buys his time, and plays a beautiful center to Mooney to just tap it in, and Ahmed is still on the ground, absolutely not excited about that. Ittihad players are having a word with the referee saying there was a foul early on the play. Referee is not having any of it and counts it for goal number 2 for Slancha. Slancha looking to end the season on a celebration. Here comes Idihad. How will Idihad respond to that? It's a big moment for Idihad. I mean, if things ends the way they are, Idihad will be moving on to face Touch Kings, and Baltimore City will be moving on to heading MSI to facing MSI. I stand corrected. Baltimore City will be facing Ittihad, and Touch Kings will be facing MSI. Defends well against Hollowell. Garagbi asking for the ball back, does get it back. Sends a cross. Couldn't get it to his teammate. Now it's Hassan. Hassan plays it to Bangs. Bangs. As we enter the last 15 minutes of the matchup, or correction, under 15 minutes. Ittihad here just surveying, trying to find some gaps in the defense. Well defended by Funk. Gobu wasn't able to find a teammate. Slagby just collects. This seems to be kind of done and dusted for Ittihad after that. They're slowing things down. Ittihad is looking a little stressed. I'm sure they do not want to face Baltimore City, as Baltimore City has been a great form as of late. He had an opportunity there. Didn't really go in the way of anything. Sending in the cross. It's way too much. Couldn't put enough direction on it. Referee says second water break as foretold. We'll be moving on to the second water break and then moving into the final 10 minutes of this matchup between Idihad and Slancha, who Slancha have had the better of the two and honestly have been the better side, all in all. Slancha looks to end their season on a high, as in the fall they'll be facing off with the Division I teams. Definitely some matches to highlight. Boley, Slancha meet again. Slancha versus Steel Pulse, and one of my underdog favorites would be Slancha versus Das Bierhall. Definitely a game to watch. Gonna take a quick little break here, and we'll be back once this water break is complete. Alrighty, welcome back as Slancha and Ittihad take the field for the last 10 minutes of the match. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes of stoppage time, but all depending on how these next couple minutes go is how we'll go into stoppage time. Next match will be Ambition versus Steel Pulse. If you want to stick around for that one, we will be celebrating Steel Pulse's win of the Maryland division here in the Super Soccer League. Hollowell with the throw in. It's finds a beautiful touch from the Idihad player. Ultimately goes out for a throw, and it's Hollowell again. Big throw here. Looking for number 5 for Slancha, which is Mazone. Gombu. Myers finds Ngobu. Now it's Myers. Has a shot and hits it narrowly, missing wide. Ahmed you could tell he's gassed after the performance he's had to put on this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. Slancha ends up with possession after the distribution. Is Hollowell here in the midfield. Big switch here, looking for Idris. Goalkeeper lets it go out for a restart. Ahmed restarting here in the midfield. A bunch of pressure coming Opts to go out wide. Ittihad seems like they have very little motivation now. Did I just feel a raindrop, or is that my sweat drop?
I really hope that's not rain.
I do too, my friend. I do too. Way too much out here for it to be rain. You felt it too? Huh. Please no. Go Boo. Sends in the cross. Looking for Idris. Idris might still keep this alive. Does so, but only to the Ittihad defender. Go Boo. Almost had that. It's Ittihad now coming down the sideline. Bangs. Holding the ball for way too long. Referee says it's a foul on Bangs. Here comes the restart for Idihad. Going all the way out wide to Sofus. Mystery player number 51. Sur keeping possession under a lot of pressure. Still Sur is down with his back line. Big switch here. Intended target was Garagbi. Last 5 minutes of the regular period. Should say last 4 minutes. Throw in here. Ittihad's time is winding down. The result like this, they'll be moving on to face Baltimore City in the playoffs. Slancha will be heading to the Slancha pub to celebrate. Idris here has an opportunity, crosses it in. Ball's still alive. Gobu has possession now. Looking for his teammate, plays it to Perez. Perez has the option to play it out wide. There's the shot, and what a wasted opportunity. Just hit way too high. Had time to make a decision to play it out to his teammate, and saw his name in lights. Wanted to end it on a big note. Idihad starting us here off in the last 3 minutes of the regular period. Not much urgency from Idihad. They, I think, have resigned to they'll play whoever is in front of them in the playoffs. Throw in here for Slancha. Intended target is Manzo. It's a great tackle there to block him. So that was number 16 who was taken down by Bishkin. The defender was Ofusu, sitting at the top of the box, or sorry, outside the box, waiting for the pass from Ahmed. Ahmed opts to go out the other way. And here comes Ittihad. Here's Ittihad playing down the field. Now it's Slancha. Gobu. Gobu has time and space, spends in the cross. Keeper does well to control it. Stretch, full stretch to collect it. That was beautifully done by Ahmed. Much respects to Manzo, who just backed off. And now it's Ittihad here. Ittihad here has an opportunity, a one-on-one. Slagby comes out, and Ittihad ties it in the last minute, just like in the first half. Caught Slancha sleeping, and mystery player number 51 puts it in the back of the net, beating Slagby on a race, and now we have a game. Took a fortunate bounce, beat the defender, and then got to it before Slagby could cut off angles and just tipped it past him. And now Ittihad ties up the game. Not sure how much this dampens the spirit of Slancha, but they still get the promotion. Doesn't make a difference. Ittihad, it does. Oh, no, a win would have. Anything less means nothing really. Referee says that is not asking for the player to approach, and gets the yellow card. Didn't like the tackle. Garagbi standing over. We've already hit a minute of stoppage time. I can assume referee will call this at any moment. And referee says that is the end of full time. We're going to sign off here because we do have to quickly get started for the next match. I have been Gio. On the camera is Mr. Dom Wallace. We appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and we will see you all for the next match. Steel Pulse versus Ambition.